and welcome back to the Indian Esports Network. The problems have been ironed out, I do believe, so we're ready into game number 1 of the best of 5, and man, we have already missed a ton of action. It looks like both of these teams are tied 2-2, and we've already been blessed with an overtime. My name is Hot Sauce here, joined with Somi Nomi, and we're ready to bring you all the action.
That we are indeed, as we're going to have that kickoff there into overtime. Big thing that we're going to be looking for is who's going to be setting up for the shot here. Seems that it's up against Wabash. We will see that demo come on out immediately, but the shot on goal finds its mark as Vernon gets the first game.
Yeah, Mount Vernon, they get it in overtime. You see him just over the top of the defender of Wabash here as well. We talked about it before we got going earlier today. Both of these teams undefeated, both sitting at 5-0. It'll be Mount Vernon who takes game number 1, and we get a look at these stats. The demo is certainly favoring Wabash, but it was these consistent shots, 6 in total, that would lead to the 3 goals here for Mount Vernon. They pick up game number 1 in a best of 5. Wabash, still plenty of time to bring it back.
Well, most definitely. One thing I do want to point out here is the assists stat here. Every single one was earned by Mount Vernon, while from the side of Wabash, you didn't see any. So goes to show maybe they have their one star player that they're going to be relying on. I'm not sure if that's going to work out for them in the long run here, but anything can happen after the first match.
Yeah, you never know. And so, sometimes that first game is just a feeler game, trying to figure out what your opponents are going to do. So the second game already off kickoff. We're going to see this one again. It's Riley off the kickoff. This one bangs off the ceiling. It's a funky bounce. You see 2 defenders cheating forward. The goal left wide open. Wabash takes advantage of that one early. Only 2 seconds off the clock, though. So much time here in game number 2.
Indeed, that's a score on goal that you don't typically see in Rocket League, all in all. And very close there on having the return performed by Mount Vernon. But it seems they're trying to wrap around here. Now that's going to leave an open goal. Need someone to get in the way. They will be able to take control of this ball, but no one's quite there yet to make a follow-up for the side of Mount Vernon.
Now we'll see that ball still toward mid, popped up by Mount Vernon. Not quite enough boost to get into the sky, and B-Craft will take this one away. Back into the left here, tucked to the corner, met with the 50, can't find the clear though, and Wabash continues to apply relentless pressure here. We see that demo come around midfield as well. A little bit of back and forth here, but Mount Vernon kind of playing from the defensive half here, and that's another dangerous ball from Wabash.
Indeed it was. Now, what we are seeing here is that they're not really keeping people in goal. They're actually doing that rotation, and there's going to be the goal from Mount Vernon to even things on up there. It is 1-1.
Good equalizer coming in here and giving themselves plenty of time to work with. We see him fighting around that backboard, but the defender just not able to get back in time. Mount Vernon able to capitalize on the opportunity. Just about 1 minute and 2 off the clock in this one, much like the last one. Still tied up here through regulation, as Mount Vernon has had to play from the back foot so far here in game number 2. We'll see if they can find a lead. Right now, it is still Wabash that is applying this pressure.
That it is. And you know what? One thing I would really be curious to see is how much we get out of demolition use here. Because we see them playing very slowly against one another, but they have the speed built up. Could get some big plays to be made if you get a demo on one of these defenders as they sit in goal to open it up for a shot.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the bumps and the demos. It can help open up opportunities on offense. It can help alleviate some of that pressure on defense as well. And so there are right and wrong times to demo, though, and this is a dangerous one, almost a free one for Riley, but Mount Vernon will find a bit of a half clear tucked away by B-Craft, and now maybe an opportunity here for Mount Vernon.
That it is, but Wabash here really trying to take this ball down the field. Has a good setup for it, but doesn't quite have their players in position yet to take full advantage of it. I think it's really coming down now to these rotations here, and it really matters on how you set yourself up as the ball comes off the wall. Here's the shot and the goal.
That's going to be a second one for Riley, and now maybe searching for the hat trick as well. Wabash showing that They've got a deep roster as well. We saw Mr. 67 coming off there, and it looks like they've got Mars in as well. So letting, everybody get a chance to play here in this setting. It's always great to see. And, it's great to see that there are plenty of students wanting to play some Rocket League. So Wabash enjoying that lead for a little while longer, but it's not that 2-point cushion you look for. So you can't get complacent here. You got to continue to stride and do what's been working.
Yeah, most definitely here. Ball game very close to that goal post, but they're still keeping it on Wabash's side of the field. As I say that, it makes its way over to Mount Vernon. I think what we're seeing right now is the players are playing a lot of chase rather than cover for one another, and that could really waste all your fuel that you have to push in. Oh, that might have been a mistake. They recover it just fine.
Yeah, able to get back in time, and you're right, boost management, equally important aspect of a game like Rocket League, and you don't always need those big hundreds in the corner. You can find those nickels and dimes, and speaking of a dime, it's Mount Vernon to drop a dime to the back of the line here, tied it to, they find the equalizer, and just like that, Mount Vernon right back in it. I mean, they were able to stick around on that last one. They got it to overtime where they got the dub, and you almost get a hint, a feeling of some reminiscence of that game one here in game two.
Oh, yes, you do. But I'm loving how that last goal went on in there. It was just a nice corner sink, and they might do it again. Just not going to find it as the bump there saves it.
Good save. 90 seconds on the clock to work with. Wabash looking for an attack. It's met. The 50 goes in favor of Mount Vernon. It's a goal line stand. The 50 dropped in front of the net. The shot just a bit high above the crossbar, and that was also close, but yet just far enough, and Wabash will hang on here. They were dangerously close to giving up a goal, and now fighting out of their territory. It's a nice flick from Riley. He's able to get by one defender, one more to beat, but the stand at the goal line is too good. There's a demo that comes out as well, and now a potential counterattack.
Yep, but they got it all the way down the field here. This is actually a great position to find yourself in. Just need to get a slow hit there in the goal. Can anyone make the follow-up here now? Trying to see if they can do that wraparound. I think what's going very well for Wabash is that they have their one person that goes in deep into these pushes here, like a spear, just finding their way through to clear a path for the rest of the team. From there, it's all about the follow-up, almost finding it there, but there's 30 seconds remaining, and still we're even on the board.
The MVP, maybe that most valuable post right now. They keep dinking them off, and they can't quite find the back of the net, but they're here to keep the drive alive, and they'll touch this one into the corner, looking for more. It's Beecraft. A bit of a half clear, but it goes the other direction. The ball now bouncing in dangerous territory in front of the Wabash net. 3 in regulation, and we might just have a second overtime if this one can touch the ground.
That it will. And this could be a one and done here because we've seen some quick off the pitch here. There it is. It's up in the air. It's going, and just saved.
I mean, it was Wabash with a crazy kickoff goal like that to open up the game. Mount Vernon almost gets its revenge here. They got an OT win already in game number 1. And this would put them up 2 in the series for Wabash. A chance to tie the series up and turn that best of 5 into a best of 3. But the pressure back and forth, a bit of pong action. This one will rest at mid. Nobody able to gather at the boost. Here gathered at mid as well by Mount Vernon. And it is all go. They fire into the back of the net. And Mount Vernon steals game number 2 away. This time again in OT.
I mean, you got to really give it up there for the Tech. Great call there, seeing the opportunity, the hole in the defense where they were able to flourish and sink that one on in.
Just a great job by Mount Vernon. I mean, we talk about the physical aspects to the game, but the mental equally is important, and not being discouraged by early goals from Wabash. They fight through the adversity, they trudge through the trenches, and they find overtime for a second game in a row where they're able to get that dub yet again. Wabash, at this point, it's do or die. It's backs against the wall. It's win or go home. And they've got to get a reverse sweep here if they want to remain undefeated in this regular season. Mount Vernon has given themselves the best possible chance to close this out now with 3 additional opportunities.
Indeed, they have. This pitch starts on off here. And we're going to be starting it with a heavy presence within Wabash territory, looking to see how Mount Vernon could make a setup for play here. But I got to give credit for Wabash. They rotated in 6-7 yet again, trying to see if they can set things on up to look for a play.
And it looks like 67 will come back in here with Riley and Mars, and we'll see if they can make the magic happen. It's Mount Vernon through the sky, not able to find the touch, but it baits out a defender. The bicycle kick is almost good for one, but it's great defense here from Wabash.
Ooh.
They'll pressure the other direction. They get a huge demo at mid, and now a big opportunity, but the respawn comes on from the demo. It's a decent clear here from Mount Vernon, and some more tug-of-war back and forth. These two teams have absolutely been having a slugfest in this series.
That they have. Now, one thing I do want to point out, we typically see the standard card, the Gizmo here, as we're looking at one of them, but from Wabash, they actually are utilizing a van as one of them, as well as the SUV build. So that's something you don't typically see used too often in competitive play, but because of their heavier bodies, they do make for a larger surface to hit against, which makes them great for defending.
Well, we'll see if they can continue to have this flawless defending, because Riley will pick apart the defense one more time, and Riley has done a phenomenal job in scoring multitude of goals here today. They're going to start off with the first one, much like in Game 2 here in Game 3, but can they hold on to this lead? It's something that they've struggled with throughout that series. Mount Vernon has always been able to keep it close until the end, and then in overtime, they power forward. So Wabash finds a second, and now they get that 2-point cushion.
Well, it seems we have a bit of a snowball effect developing here. I was just thinking to myself, you need more than just Riley. Riley can do all they can, but it's a team-based game, and we're seeing it right there from Wabash being able to put in a second one.
Up by 2 here in this one. It's probably the biggest lead we've seen yet here in this series. So Mount Vernon has been able to battle back from these 1-point deficits, and that was almost a 3-point. A wide open net. Wabash not able to capitalize, and it will be Mount Vernon with a big clear.
Indeed. Great wraparound there, as we saw from 6-7. Now going to be trying to play it on this defense. Oh, this is not good. You're going to be seeing Mount Vernon's finally get a score.
Yeah, you can tell they wanted this one as well. You see MS Esports 2 just all pedal to the metal, and a great job by that initial attacker. Not only do they get a shot on target, but they bump that defender. It makes it tough for Wabash to find the clear. Mount Vernon, great situational awareness here as they look to fight back in this one. From behind once more, they cut that lead in half, but they still need one more for the equalizer, and through the sky, it's not quite on target.
No, that was very close, however. The up and over. Now it's going to come to that head. Not going to work out there for the side of MSC Sports 1, but they do get a demo out for it, so that will reset one of the players from their cycle rotations. So I'd say Wabash needs to try to play for a recovery here right now and set up to go again.
Now we'll see him get a little bit of push toward mid, but Mount Vernon shuts it down immediately. It's a bouncing play toward the net. Riley able to scoop it up at mid as well. We'll see some more back and forth as this one floats high and dry. Mount Vernon pressures into the corner here of Wabash, and now we're getting into some of that back and forth pong action here. So we'll see if they're able to slow it down a little bit. Look for some of these passing plays downfield.
Indeed. Well, you got to set up there right overhead, but going to retrieve it there. Mount Vernon could try to get a shot here if they want to really commit to it. Oh, this is the opening. This is the opportunity, but it gets stolen away there by Wabash. It's a great idea, though.
Great idea, good attempt, but they're not done yet. That one nearly sneaks into the upper 90. They're going to look for the bump off the ball, and they get it, but it bounces into a teammate. It causes a demo for Wabash, and this one almost bounces in. How in the heck does Mount Vernon keep that out?
You know, the only way you do it is pure determination and willpower there to be able to know that you will be able to get that save. You will be able to take control. Now you got to apply that same willpower here on the offensive. Once you get control of this, after the block, needs to get it, will find it, but has to continue the follow-up here. It's just all slow ball plays now, and whoever gets this sense will begin the momentum once more.
And almost everybody starved at boost here. We'll see a big save come in front of the net. They'll look to scoop the 100 in the corner and power out the clear. Doesn't quite come in as it looks to be settled down here. Mars tries to get a bit of a kick, but it's not the clear they need. And now Mount Vernon look to apply pressure one more time. Into the corner, across in front of the net. A big needed clear here from Wabash. And they've got to hold on for just 35 more seconds. Still searching for their first dub in this series.
That they are. I'm liking the air juggle here. Lots of air time here. Will be able to get this ball downfield and could go for a nice floater to set on up for a shot. As we're going to be 30 seconds remaining here. Going to be seeing ball goes down to Wabash. It has the opportunity here, needs the follow through, but gets too far away.
Great defense here by Wabash as well. You know, they forfeited up some late game goals that led to overtime in those first two games. They made sure it doesn't happen here, and now regulation will end. They just got to knock this ball to the ground, but Mount Vernon through the sky, and he almost finds it. Wabash, a great goal line stand. They'll get their first dub of the series and begin to see if they can battle back here in this one. They need 2 more wins in a row to complete the reverse sweep.
That they do. I mean, this was a great return that against Mount Vernon here, where they were having a real struggle once they got into the overtimes. I think Mount Vernon does well under pressure. And in that sense, Wabash is starting to learn, let's try to play a game of keep away, shall we? Let's try to drag things out. As long as we are in control, or in control of the players even, pushing them around, we will have a better time going into these series.
Yeah, I feel like Wabash has consistently had more demos, has been that maybe slightly more aggressive team, if you will, but we'll see that same 3 back out on the field here again. They've got to win out to bring it back here in this series to remain undefeated. Mars, an early attempt, she gets just under this one here, though, and already it's early pressure again from Wabash.
Indeed. You know, what I'm starting to see here is they're trying to do some of these fake outs here, as if they're going to go for a shot, but then leave it for the person behind them, or to just back off as they know it's not going to be sent all the way downfield, so that way they could try to play for recovery. Now we do see Riley here doesn't really have any juice to work with in the bank. Going to have to try to grab something around the field here.
Yeah, I mean, still had a very nice shot toward the goal, but great defense from Mount Vernon. They'll get across midfield and look for an attempt of their own on the counterattack. Slightly thwarted away, and now the booming clear will come in. On the back pedal is Mount Vernon. They've got to find the stop here, the pressure. We can see Wabash lingering in the background here like sharks smelling blood in the water, but it's MS over the top, and we got to take another look at this.
Oh, no, we definitely do. I mean, take a look at it through the skies there. The tech involved. That was a beautiful carry to just send it on in.
And gets the flip reset as well. Normally you don't have that additional jump, but because all 4 tires touch the ball, you get a flip reset. You get an additional jump. You see him utilize it right at the end of the play. Beautiful job by Mount Vernon. Great aerial prowess. And with that, they find a lead that we haven't seen them strike first, I don't think, in any of these games so far in this series. Wabash, for the first time, really having to play from behind and already through the sky again. No. The aerial prowess, the player with finesse, and the magic continues from coast to coast. Mount Vernon is looking to shut this down.
Yeah, this is some beautiful work to see in the making here. I mean, it takes a lot of practice and time to commit to such a play, and they are just doing it masterfully.
On the ground, through the sky, and that's going to make them difficult to deal with. Wabash might need to utilize those bumps and demos. It's something that can kind of keep them from getting up into the air. You don't want to allow them to have too much space, but all of a sudden, Mount Vernon has come alive. I mean, look at this teamwork here, these consistent pass and plays, the give and goes. You find that first touch, you circle out, the teammates are there. Beautifully executed here by Mount Vernon.
Indeed, this is what I love to see. This is some higher level Rocket League taking place right now. You can tell the way they're rotating, how they're setting up. The comms are loud and proud here. They are excited and fervent.
Gotta see, I love the parents in chat as well, cheering on the young talent that we've got here, littered across both of these schools. Mount Vernon, though, looking to close this one out, looking to remain undefeated, and they have been relentless here, like a firing squad. It's shot after shot. Wabash will get a little bit of breathing room, and now on the counterattack, they look to waterfall it in front of the net. The shot almost there, but they can't quite find the touch they need.
Indeed, that's the hard part about those heavier cars, is that they don't quite have the aerodynamic compared to the other builds. So you won't see them too much, as they just can't get that flip down. It's harder for them to really have that movement in comparison to the default vehicle.
Yeah, the Octane, the Finnick, the Dominus, often popular. You don't typically see the Merc van out there. I got to say, I love it, though. I love a sense of style, maybe something that's a little bit out of the norm. So big shout out for that. But unfortunately, find themselves down by 3 at the moment here. And with 2 minutes on the clock, it's still plenty of time to work with. You often say 20 to 30 seconds to allow yourself to set up a play to find a goal, but it might get tougher. Looking for the double tap. It's not quite there. Has some help, but it does get a bit away from the car here.
Oh no, that was a bit of an overshot there by Riley. You do have the recovery here from Mars, but they need something more. They need this ball off their side of the field. They need some help going in against Mount Vernon here. And that looks like a good setup. Just needs the follow-up here to knock this ball down.
There's that secondary touch. It's a shot on target, just a bit wide and to the right, but a great attempt, and that's what you need to see from Wabash. Shots on shots on shots. Eventually, you're going to find one that hits the back of the net there, carrying it out, though. Esports 2, the pass decent. Picked up, though. Well read here by Wabash. A shot, a wide open net, and this could be the single spark to reignite the spectral fire.
Most definitely. You got to give big credit there to your teammate, getting that bump onto Mount Vernon's defender to buy them time to get the shot on goal.
Great job, and again, you could be discouraged being down 3-0. You love to see the fight and the determination here in this young talent. That never say never attitude that was a dangerous ball, and the savior coming in here is Riley. A big save on the back pedal. A good counterattack as well. It does get knocked to the sideline for Mount Vernon. They've just got to find big clears, look for opportunities, try to eat some time up off the clock. For right now, most of that pressure is on the shoulders of Wabash.
Indeed it is. I mean, this is where Mount Vernon could play the game of keep away if they really so desire, but they are hungry, and they're going to find another goal.
Hungry indeed. They're hungry for goals, and they just can't seem to get full. Fourth one on the board. It's a pass through the sky, and just finds the back net there on the left side. Wabash tries to get up. It was a great attempt from the defense, but they couldn't quite find the stop they need. And now with 3 goals in 45 seconds, it's not impossible, but it is highly improbable.
Indeed it is. I mean, I've seen things come back at the most dire of times when there was only a minute remaining, but you do have to very much work hard together, and you need to rely on your teammates here for these setups and shots. Otherwise, it's not going to be happening.
Yeah, and when you cheat forward because you need to, sometimes it opens up the net. It leads for big counterattacks like that. And even if Mount Vernon doesn't find the score, they eat up another 7 to 10 seconds off the clock. It was a nice pass. The shot from Wabash, it's a bit high. The second attempt from Riley goes a bit wide. And it was a great attempt here from Wabash yet again. But Mount Vernon will be able to solidify this one here. It looks like 4-1. If the ball should fall, they'll close this series out in 3-1 fashion and remain undefeated in the regular season here as they go to 6-0.
That they do. If they had just a couple more seconds, that one definitely would have gone into the goal. But this is our final here. 3-1 for a series. What a phenomenal game we had.
I mean, this was a really close series. Even though it is 3-1 at the end of it, you got to look at the first 3 games that were only separated by a single point. 2 of those games going into overtime, with that third one almost making it there as well. So, again, Wabash, hold your heads high on a job well done. You helped put on a cinema for all of us watching here. But a big GG's to Mount Vernon, as they will remain undefeated. Most likely, Wabash going to have to look to seek revenge in those playoffs or toward that postseason run.
Indeed, they do. Well, I believe that's going to wrap it up for us here on the Indiana Esports Network. But before we go, we got a quick few shout outs to make here. First and foremost, LandFest This broadcast is part of LandFest's Scholastic Esports program, a program that supports this league and many others. Since launching, LandFest has delivered over 300 broadcasts to Scholastic leagues in Washington and Indiana. We do provide these broadcasts free of charge to league, schools, and teams we cover, and your generous donations make it all possible. Every $200 raised covers the operating costs for one regular season broadcast. And if you appreciate our work, be sure to scan that QR code on screen and donate today.
Absolutely. I love LandFest and all that they continue to do. And of course, League OS, you've seen all the great overlays here as well. But LOS Portal, maybe you want to play in esports, not just in high school, but in college as well. You can search hundreds of collegiate esports programs at portal.leagueos.gg. Scholarships exist for players, shoutcasters, like me and Somi here, and much, much more. So be sure to list all of your talents. There's tons of verified college coaches searching LOS Portal to potentially find you. IEN students themselves can sign in to manage their prospect profiles where your stats automatically update, which is really cool, by the way. But LOS Portal is free, so don't miss your chance to get discovered. Visit portal.leagueos.gg and level up your future today as well. It's certainly been a lot of fun getting to showcase all the young talent. But before we get going as well, we got to thank everybody behind the scenes who often don't get enough credit. Of course, everybody behind the scenes at IEN, but here at LandFest as well, Connie and Taylor for producing and running such a smooth show. All of our competitors, and of course, the teachers, the parents, the friends, the family hanging out with us in chat. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you hit that follow button down below. I believe there is Marvel Rivals coming up on Monday at 4:30 Eastern. So yeah, Marvel Rivals, what is that? March 2nd. So 4:30.
Yes.
Make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss it. But again, thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Have a wonderful evening.
Rivals one when it comes up too.